A new report out today shows the number of homeless children in the U.S. is at an all-time high.
But depending on which side of the border you live on in our area, there's a big difference in the numbers. News 8's Keely Arthur joins us now in our newsroom with a look at the situation locally. Keely?
The report by the National Center on Family Homelessness says one child goes homeless every 30 seconds. The report ranks states based on the extent of child homelessness, efforts to combat it, and the level of well-being for children. Minnesota has the best score in the country and ranks #1. Wisconsin is further down that list at 18. I spoke to experts in both states to see why they got those rankings.
We lived here about 2 months.
After a horrific car crash left Christy Short without work and disabled, she had no choice but to move herself and her 4 children into the Salvation Army shelter in La Crosse. 3 years later, the ordeal is still difficult to talk about.
I had to swallow my pride and make sure that my kids were taken care of. I feel like it was a good choice. I hate that I had to put them through that.
Shelter life was tough on her kids.
They're worried about being made fun of. You have to be kind of cautious of who you talk to or who you're around.
Families make up more than a third of the homeless in La Crosse.
We are consistently turning families and children away from the shelter because we're just at capacity.
The issue, Bundy says, is a lack of affordable housing.
If a landlord has the opportunity to rent a 3 or 4 bedroom house to 3 or 4 college kids who have 4 incomes coming in, as opposed to maybe a single mom with 3 children, they're definitely going to take the college kids.
When it comes to getting the homeless into homes, Wisconsin ranks 37th, while Minnesota ranks 4th. The director of public relations at the Salvation Army says Minnesota has more assistance across the board.
The networks that we have within not just the nonprofit groups, the churches, the state, the county, always talking about how do we end homelessness.
It took Short 60 days to find a home for her family. Aside from going to school, she still spends most of her days at the shelter, helping others.
I am trying to teach my children that no matter what happens, there's always somebody else that's worse than what we are.
There are 80 beds at the Salvation Army shelter in La Crosse. When they reach capacity, officials work with the warming shelter to make space for families. They also call relatives or friends to ensure they aren't turning anyone back to the streets.
Thanks a lot, Keely. And if you would like to help the homeless in our area, just go to this website at salvationarmylacrosse.org.